Let's start talking about how we're going to lay out our parcels. We've already created a zoning map to figure out what our zone is. If we take a look at this map, basically this is our project area and we are originally zoned as A1. So we'll have to do a zoning map amendment. We'll have to get our project area rezoned to either R1, RCE, R1 triple or 4A. So we have the options of developing our parcels based on different zones. Okay, we're all within a residential or agricultural. We've got R2s down here. We do have a little bit of commercial in the area of C1. Now, to figure out how we can lay out the lots or how big these lots are, we'll have to go to the Orange County Muni Code or the Land Development Code. Different counties call it different things. Osceola County calls it the Land Development Code, and Orange County has theirs listed as the Muni Code. So we're going to go to the internet, and we're going to type in Muni Code Orange County, Florida. When that pops up, you'll probably get something that looks like this, and click on the link that brings you to the Muni Code for Orange County. You could type in Muni Code and path down, but I always try to use my search engines to find what I'm looking for. Now, the Code of Ordinance is broken down into various chapters and various articles and in divisions within chapters. The one that we're going to be interested in is actually in Chapter 34, underneath the subdivision regulations, and Chapter 38, the zoning. So we're going to first look at our zoning code. Now, a lot of the code ordinances or the land development code tells you how to develop your project, whether it be commercial, residential, industrial, whichever. So we're going to look at the zoning first. Inside the zoning, we have these different articles. We're going to be looking at the article that has to do with residential districts. So we click on that, and what it comes up with is all the different types of residential districts. So we can see that there was an R1 with 4A, R1 3A, but we're looking at R1 single family, because if we looked at our map, our zoning map, we're going to mimic what is to the right of us. So we're going to look at R1 single family dwelling. So I'm going to click on that, and what it does is it tells me what uses are available, what I can use the land for. And it specifically states, now if we want to develop something a little bit different within that, we can actually ask for special exceptions or variances to the design. The other thing I want to make sure you understand is where we get the site and building requirements. Underneath Section 38-2281, you'll see the building site and building requirements. So if you pull this down, you can come down here and you will see the site and building requirements right here underneath this article. So when we're looking at that, you'll see this site and building requirements listed, and this I've pasted this into our Blackboard. So if you wanted to take a look at it, it looks like this. We're going to be looking at the R1 code. So what I've done is I've broken down, and it might be easier if I go ahead and pull this up into the site. Open this a little bit bigger. Now, the R1, you have to look at what the minimum lot area, 5,000 square feet. The minimum living space, that's what your actual house has to be. The size of the house has to be 1,000 square feet for living space. The minimum lot width, that means how wide the lot is, and the yard, the minimum front yard needs to be 20 feet. The rear is 20, the side yard is 5, and the maximum building height, the total height is 35 feet. And there might be special lake setbacks. Okay, we're not on the lake, so we don't have to worry about that one. So, but I want to show you what this layout is talking about. So I'm going to take this information and I'm going to draw a little sketch. So I'm going to take a look at, if this is the center line of my road, I've got my drive lane, my curb and gutter, grass area, and then the sidewalk. We're going to be talking about the parcel itself. it says for R1 it needs to be 5,000 square feet. So with inside this block area here, inside this area here, we are talking about it has to be 5,000 square feet. And it says that the minimum width has to be 50 feet. So this width right here has to be 50 feet. Okay? Now, let me get that cleaner. 50 feet. If this is 50 feet, then what does the lot depth have to be? Basically, you're going to say that you've got 5,000 square feet is what the minimum lot has to be. And if I divide that by 50 for the minimum width, that's going to give me 100 foot in depth. So the depth of the lots here have to be 100 feet. Okay? So we know our minimum width and depth. Now the setbacks that we're talking about, the minimum front setback, if you look at this setback here is 20. So I'm going to have a 20-foot setback. The rear is going to be 20, so I need 20 feet back here also. Now, the side yards are going to be 5 on each side. So this is 5. Okay? That means the envelope of our house, the house that you all select to place on the lots, has to fit within this blue area. Because I've got a 20-foot setback, rear is 20, and each side is 5. Now, when we go to the Civil 3D, it's going to ask us what our minimum lot area is, what the width is, a possible maximum depth, and a front setback, but it doesn't ask us side yard or rear. All right? So let's go back to our drawing and take a look at how we're going to design our parcels.